Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsey. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up or commenting below. If you want to see more of my videos, press the subscribe button and click on the bell for notifications. If you need any Stampin' Up! Products to make these cards, you can visit my online store and the link is in the description box below. Today I'd like to share with you my first paper pumpkin alternative project using the Sending Hearts paper pumpkin kit from January 2021. This kit comes with everything you need to create 8 cards, 4 in each design, and these are the original projects. And what I like to do is take those supplies and create my own cards using maybe just a couple other things from my craft room. So today we're going to be learning how to create these cards. This first one uses the supplies in the kit, while the second one is an alternative in case you've used up those supplies and still want to make this card. If you're interested in seeing my other alternative projects or seeing my unboxing video, you can click on the playlist and I will link it here in the top right corner. So let's go ahead and get started making these cards. Don't miss out on next month's kit. The February Bouquet of Hope Paper Pumpkin Kit provides enough supplies to create 9 cards with coordinating envelopes. This soft, sympathetic kit includes pattern card bases, die-cut floral elements, ribbon, embellishments, and more. Plus, the versatile stamp set can be used throughout the year. Make sure to sign up by February 10th. Okay, to start this card, you're going to need your paper trimmer and one of each design of card bases that came in the kit. And we're going to cut them right along that score line, which is 4 1/4. Now go ahead and place one off to the side. We won't be using that today, and I will use these in future alternative projects. So we're just going to repeat that for the second one, cut at 4 1/4. And then just take one and place it off to the side. So now we're going to take each of these and we're going to rotate them and cut at 3 3/4 inches. And that's going to give us the top and the bottom. So again, at 3 3/4 inches. So we can make 2 cards with these 2 different designs. So we're just going to match one top with one bottom, and then we'll do the opposite thing for the other card. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this one off to the side for my second card. And we'll be working with the Poppy Parade on top and the Petal Pink on the bottom. So I also have a Petal Pink card base. And you could use any color card base for this. I just wanted something light in color so that I can write my greeting on the inside. This is just your regular size card base. So it's been cut to 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. And I've just gone ahead and scored that with my bone folder to make a nice crease. These 2 things are gonna just fit nicely over that entire card front. And then we are also adding one of the black scallops. So let's go ahead and add those things and then we'll do our stamping. So before I can add this to my card, I need to cut it down just slightly. So this is about 4 1/2 inches and I need to cut it to 4 1/4. And you could just line up one side and trim it off, but I like it when my scallops are even on each side. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the 4 1/4 marking and my cut line and just trying to line those up in about the same place on that scallop. And then I'll just rotate this and line it up at the 4 1/4 and cut again. So you can see here that the scallop ends are about at the same place, like they're ending about the same place on that circle or half circle. So now I can add this to my card. I'm just going to take my glue dots that came in the kit and my Take a Pick tool, and I'm just sliding them off and adding them to the top of this scalloped piece. And then I'll take the top piece. I'm gonna just line it up using my grid paper so I know everything's nice and straight. And I'm adding it to the top. And it's about 1/4 of an inch down into that scalloped piece. Okay, and then I can now add these 2 pieces to my card base. And I'm just going to do that quickly with some Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to line them up just by holding my paper vertically so that the base can line up, and then I'm kind of pushing on the edges to make sure that that top piece lines up nicely with the edges of my card base. And then I'll do the same thing here. And I want that scallop to go between the 2 designs. So I'm just lining up those flat, straight ends with my card base. So you're going to get something like this. And now we're ready to do our stamping. So you're going to use one of the hearts from the kit and one of those tiny little rectangles. Let me just show you really quickly the stamp set that came in the kit if you're not familiar with it. It's got this really fun heart image, some great greetings, this cute little snail with a heart shell. And so we're going to be using the heart, the large heart image. We're going to use this kind of scattered flower and hearts. And then I like the Be Mine. I wanted for my cards just a small greeting so that it wouldn't overpower the heart, especially when I cut it out using the punches. So that's why I chose that one. You could choose any of the greetings here if that's what you'd like to change your card to be, have like a different greeting is fine. So I'm going to take my heart stamp, my large one, and the Poppy Parade ink spot that came in the kit. And I'm just going to ink it up so that it has a good coverage. I want a nice solid image here. Then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on the inside of that gold heart. Just going to get above it and make sure that I hover it until I like its positioning, and then I go ahead and stamp. And I just am moving my finger across the image just to make sure that I get a nice solid image here. All right, so I did get a little bit I missed some ink here in the middle. So I'll just show you a way you can fix that. So let's go to our coloring next. So you could use the Stampin' Blend markers, which is what I have here, or you could use the Stampin' Write markers. Either one would work well for this technique. I have the light Poppy Parade and the dark Poppy Parade, and then I also have the combo dark and light of the Petal Pink. So when I don't get a nice solid image, I'm going to use the light Poppy Parade, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill in those hearts that missed some of that ink. Okay, so I've gone ahead and just filled in those hearts to make sure they're nice and bold. Now I'm going to take the dark Petal Pink and I'm going to fill in all the open hearts. Now I've noticed that when I use these Stampin' Blend markers with ink, like just the regular colored ink, sometimes you'll get a little bleeding around the stamped image edging. So just be really careful as you're coloring within that stamped image. You don't want to have a lot of ink sitting on that stamped image or you'll get some bleeding. So just kind of fill it in the center of the heart and then just try to go right up to that edge without overdoing it. You're just looking to add a little extra color to the inside of this heart. So it's not just black or red and white. Okay. All right, so now you have some really cute red and pink hearts. And we're going to take this image and we're going to fussy cut out the heart here. So it's not too hard of an image to cut out. If you have like a die cut or a punch that fits this heart, then you could use that as well. But fussy cutting is just a quick and simple way of cutting out this image. Just be careful as you come around the top of the heart. I found that's kind of where I want to get a little bit too close to the heart here. And then you can save these little corners. I did try to fussy cut those out and they are pretty small, but this is a pretty big space. And what I decided to do is tried punching it with a shape, and then it just looks like a fun pattern paper. So go ahead and save those corners, and we may use them on a future project. So now we have our cute heart and it's ready for our card. And let's go ahead and do our stamping here. So I'm again using the Be Mine, and I wanted it to be in black. So I grabbed my Memento black ink and just inked that up nicely, and then stamped that right in that small little rectangle, and it just barely fits. So there's not a lot of wiggle room there. If you wanted to stamp on maybe just some white cardstock, you could do that as well. Okay, so if we take a quick look at my card, you'll notice that there's some of these little confetti stamped images, and I did them in black just to kind of go and tie in some of that black. If you wanted, you can stamp them in a different color, but I think the black looks good on both of those patterns and shows up well. So all you need to do is just place your confetti image on your clear block, get your black ink, and then you're just kind of hovering your heart where you think you're going to place it, and then ink that up, and then you're just going to stamp on the left side and then stamp on the right side. Okay, so we haven't taped down our heart yet. We're just kind of positioning it where we think we're going to place it so that we can stamp those. And if you're nervous about getting ink on things, you can kind of just eyeball it and then move it so that you're not stamping over your heart. Okay. So now we can go ahead and place these things onto our card. I did use dimensionals, and the kit does come with some dimensionals, which is nice. So go ahead and place them on the back. And then I've just added my heart at a slight angle. And then you're going to take the ribbon that came in the kit. There's this nice thin, it's about 1/4 of an inch ribbon. It's a little less than that actually. And I cut 9 inches. And here you can either tie a bow or you can just do kind of like a faux bow. So let me share with you what kind of a faux bow would look like. And I'm going to use my glue dots again here. So you're just going to take one glue dot and place it right next to the heart where the top piece meets it. So just right along that edge. You'll take your ribbon and just place the center on that glue dot. Okay, so you've got it kind of going in the same direction as the edge of the heart. Then you'll need to place another glue dot right there in the center again. So we're kind of creating we're going to be adding a lot of glue dots to create the adhesive here. And then you're just wrapping your one piece, kind of just to create that faux bow look. And then we'll do another one right there, okay? So then do another glue dot right over the middle again. And then wrapping and kind of tying that up. Let's bring that down just a little bit. I'm going to just pick that up and just replace it at a little bit more of an angle so it looks more like a bow. Okay. So then you're going to have something that looks like that. And the only reason we would do that is just so that we don't get a big knot there. Knots are kind of hard to work with behind sentiments. At least those are my feelings. So now we can add this greeting with a dimensional, and I'm going to use the edge here. I'm going to cut 2 so that I have a nice long piece that I can place back here on behind my greeting. And then I'm just going to add that right over that ribbon and heart. So you're going to get something that looks like that. Now last, there are these really cute enamel hearts, and I wanted to use them, but I wanted them to show up a little bit better on the petal pink. So what I've done is I've taken my dark Poppy Parade, and on the brush tip side, I have added red to the top. And just like you can do this with like rhinestones and pearls, you can do this with anything that has kind of a smooth edge, and that color is going to dry and just be this nice, bold, bright red. So while that dries, I'm going to use my pickup tool and just add a couple hearts. Let's do this medium one. I'm just going to place it, let's place one right here in the corner. And then let's do a small one. And then I can do these 3 red ones on the petal pink part of my card. Just kind of fun that you can change the colors of these little shapes by just adding a little bit of color with those Stampin' Blend markers. So that card is all done. So now I'd like to show you how to create this second version using just a couple other things if you've ran out of these other elements that came in the kit. So one of the first things you're going to need are some either heart punches or dies. So these punches that I have come in a pack, and they're called the Heart Punch Pack. You can find them on page 168 in the big annual catalog or online. And then you can also try the stitched Be Mine heart dies. And these ones are on page 182, or you can also find these online as well. So it doesn't really matter what your heart shape looks like, but you do need a heart. And what I like about this punch pack is that there's a larger scalloped heart, and then this one fits on top of that. So it kind of has that same look as the heart from the kit, because it has a little bit of that gold outline backing. So I'm going to first punch out the scalloped heart with some gold foil. And then we're going to do some stamping and punch that inside heart from that stamped image. Okay, so then on my white cardstock, I'm going to stamp this heart image again. I'm going to ink it up nicely and try to get a nice image this time. If you are having a hard time getting a clean image, You can also try stamping on the paper piercing mat, and that will just give you a little bit of kind of a soft surface to stamp on. So I'm going to grab mine, and this is what it kind of looks like. It's kind of a foam pad, and I can just place that underneath my paper and then stamp my image, and it just gives a little bit of like a soft material underneath that will help that image come out nice and clean. There we go. That looks better. So you can again color in these hearts with the dark petal pink. And now we're going to take the inside part of that punch pack, and I'm just going to punch out a heart here. So it's going to be a little smaller than the original size, but you're going to get a nice full image of that cute pattern. And then that just goes on top of the gold. So I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal. If you wanted, you could use a dimensional. I just want it to be on there nice and flat. And then we kind of just do the exact same things that we did to create our other card. So I have a 1/2 inch piece of basic black cardstock, and it's been cut to 4 1/4 inches. And I'm just going to go ahead and line that up on my card right in the center of where that seam is. So you're going to end up with something that looks like that. Then you're going to place your heart, and just like before, we're going to stamp that little confetti image with some black ink. Now, I think this card would be super cute in all different colors. So if you have also run out of these patterns, then come up with your own colors of cardstock and stamp the hearts with different colors and have a different color bar in the middle. It just would give a whole different feeling to this card, and so that would be really fun to do as well. So then I have a 1/2 inch strip of white cardstock here, and I'm going to stamp the greeting on that in black ink, just like before. And I'm going to keep it really close to the edge because I want just a nice small piece of cardstock here. And then I'm going to trim it with my paper trimmer. Just going to line that up and just kind of eyeball where I think it should cut. So it's a little less than 1 1/4 inches. And then we can do the same things we did. Loop this one. And you could go opposite ways. So if you want it to kind of come between, or if you want it to look like a bow, so just the way you loop it will create. So this is more like a bow, but if you come this direction, then you're kind of getting where your ends are on opposite sides. So either way that you add those loops will give you those different looks. And then that card's all done. So 2 different versions of the same card, just depending on what supplies you have on hand. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you're interested in seeing written instructions or getting close-up images of these cards, please visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. If you're interested in getting your own paper pumpkin kit, you can subscribe by using the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.